visits and nearly 57 deaths each year. The report examined unintentional carbon monoxide exposures in Illinois from 2019 through 2023. New labor data shows Illinois lost at least 100,000 jobs over the past 6 months. By the end of 2025, more than 300,000 residents were still looking for work, leaving about 1.4 workers competing for each available job in the state. The Illinois EPA is offering up to $1.5 million in grants for energy efficiency upgrades at publicly owned drinking water treatment plants. Individual awards will range from $50,000 to $500,000. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Tonight, a chance of rain showers and patchy fog before 9, then areas of fog and scattered rain showers, low around 40. Looking ahead to Thursday, cloudy with areas of fog and scattered rain showers, highs near 50. Currently, it's 38 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
It's easier than you think for pests to threaten your family's health. Ticks, which spread dangerous diseases, hide in tall grasses and even on your pets. Rodents easily invade your home, contaminate food, and can carry more than 35 diseases. Mosquitoes, which breed in standing water, transmit many diseases. Get the facts you need to protect your family at pestworld.org. It's that easy. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows. Each night, the Master of Disguise stalks the darkness, outwitting criminals with chilling certainty and supernatural suspense.
You really should believe in ghosts now, Commissioner. And in shadows.
Join the Shadows for classic radio drama filled with mystery, menace, and intrigue. Nightly from 10 to 10:30 p.m. Part of late night radio here on WRMN.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a political talk show here on WRMN 1410 AM, downtown Elgin, Studio 14. I am David Tease, and I will be your host today for talking with the candidates here on this show today. We are downtown Elgin. It's a little chilly night tonight, 37 degrees, some rain out there right now. Be careful. That's going to continue on throughout the night. We're going to have rain for about another 45 more minutes. We are going down to 37 tonight. Watch out. There'll be some areas of fog with reduced visibility and some occasional rain. Now, there might be a chance of some thunder in the morning. Yes, that's what they have projected, so I don't know what time that comes in. They have dramatically changed the weather for Friday to thunderstorms in 70. That might be a little bit of maybe some bad storms, but the rest of the weekend looks beautiful. So if anybody wants to call in and talk to our candidate, which I'll introduce him in a little bit here, you can call us at 847-931-1410, or you could text us at 926-505-1410. No, I got that backwards. I'm sorry. 505-926-1410. Or you can chime in and make a comment on YouTube Live. If you go to our WRMN app, it gets you all the navigation areas on Facebook, on YouTube, on the radio. Feel free to jump into that. It's kind of like your navigational device to go rolling around in WRMN, check everything out with us. So, without further ado, let's get this started. Today, I got to get the cameras up. Today, we have Sheriff James Mendrick. He's running for governor. That's right. We have another governor candidate in here today. And a little bit about James Mendrick. He is a DuPage County resident for over 30 years and an active community member of the county. Attended Downers Grove South High School. Married to his high school sweetheart, Cindy. And Cindy is in the studio, right? That is Cindy over there? Okay, I'm bad with names. And they have two amazing young boys, Colin and Connor. James Mendrick has had over 50 endorsements as a DuPage County Sheriff. That is right. He is a DuPage County Sheriff. Since taking office in December 2018, Sheriff Mendrick has partnered with the DuPage County Health Department to institute medicated assistant treatment for inmates fighting opioid addictions and promoted the use of Deterra drugs. God, I don't even know the name of this word. Deactivation pouch systems. Okay, deactivation pouch systems. Am I right there, James? Okay, to keep. I'm going to turn your mic up. Okay, now your mic's up. Okay, to keep dangerous medications out of our medicine cabinets and waterways. You also have a program for people incarcerated that are wearing gangs to get them into trades, teach them the education of being a carpenter, a plumber, electrician, HVAC guy. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, great.
And David, thank you for having me on today.
Thank you for coming. Yeah. So you're running for governor. Mm-hmm. That's a big job right there. And your lieutenant governor is Dr. Renteria.
Dr. Renteria was my one and only choice.
Yes.
I thank the good Lord that he accepted because I didn't have a second choice. I chose Dr. Renteria because he's a real person. He's not a politician. He's a community activist. He's a disabled veteran. He checks all the boxes. He's the person that I would want to partner with, that I would consider the most like me. The reason that I know him is because of the Barrio to the Boardroom books that he writes, right? Mm-hmm. So we were distributing those in our correctional facility. I have the second biggest correctional facility, DuPage County in the state. And everybody liked those books. So I'll be honest with you. I only have so much time reading an actual physical book these days. I've gone to actual audio books. Yeah. But he gave me that book before I distributed it in my jail, and I figured I'd read just a couple pages, so next time I saw him, I could at least tell him, I know a little bit of this.
Right.
I read the whole thing in a day, and I'm like, that book was awesome because that book was basically, if I could boil Barrio to the Boardroom down into just a couple sentences, it's about, I'm going to work harder than you. Mm-hmm. If you're there at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be there at 5 o'clock. If you're taking Saturdays and Sundays off, I'm going to be there Saturdays and Sundays. And it was a story about work ethic, and I identified so much. I'm like, that is what I want to introduce into my correctional facility. And that book was so big that we were able to bring Dr. Renteria in to do talks with the inmates on several occasions. That's how I got to know him. That's how I knew he was the right person for my lieutenant governor.
Mm-hmm. And he's everywhere. I see him. Yeah. I saw him last night at the KNGOP
He's the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, he's always on all cylinders, running around. Amazing guy, amazing story. But back to you. How long have you been a DuPage County Sheriff?
So, here's a funny thing. So I tell people, and I'm not afraid to say this, I believe in God. God puts us where we're meant to be. Never planned on being the police. I was an artist, a sculptor, ceramics teacher. I was into marketing, advertisement, photography, and literature. That's what I went to college for. But as we find out sometimes, life doesn't turn out the way we want. As soon as I graduated with a degree with those credentials, everything went computer graphics. My dad was a police chief in Oak Park. He's like, hey, son, why don't you start applying to police departments? And then I was, at the time, my stopgap job was actually off of California in Chicago at a place called Romano Brothers, throwing boxes of product onto a conveyor belt to load into semi-trucks. That's Monday and midnight. My dad would pick me up, and he would, on the way home, he'd stop at these parks and say, run 15 times around that track. I'm like, why? Well, that's the power test. You have to run your 1.5 miles. So I did that. I applied in 1996, ended up in DuPage County Sheriff's Office. I was very successful, very lucky. I got promoted to corporal right away in 2 years, sergeant in 4. I started running the detectives as a detective commander in charge of financial crime. So the financial crime training was what was the blueprint for everything that I know now. Drug cartels, embezzlers that were embezzling billions of dollars, retail theft rings, all of these really complicated financial sticky wickets. I had to deal with that. The only difference in what we do in, like, when they find something in Minnesota is that at the end we have a judge sign a warrant. There's actually arrest and prosecution after. So I went from that to our accreditation manager, where I audited our own agency for 3 years doing the audits. Then after that, I got promoted, through the ranks from lieutenant to commander to major, canine commander. That was great. That was I love dogs. The canine stuff was fantastic. Then I went to major and administrative bureau chief and undersheriff, where I ran the budget. So between my undersheriff, chief, and sheriff time, I've run our budget for 12 years. Our budget is $80 million.
Wow.
I supervise 504 static employees and about 300 contractors. So I supervise 800 people. I'm the main contract writer, chief negotiator for contracts, all that kind of stuff. So I would like to say, in 12 years of running just a huge budget like that, I haven't bet $1 over my appropriation in 12 years since I've taken over. We manage that budget like it's our own checkbook. If there is a box of paper clips purchased, I have what they call a zero balance budget. Somewhere on my budget sheet will be $2.50 for a box of paper clips. Everything is on my budget.
Wow. That is that you got the business sense, you're knowing about the money sensibilities of the county and how it's ran. You moved up into the ranks, and now you're the sheriff, which you were voted in for that by your citizens, your voters, and all that stuff. So, but one of the things about it is, what impresses me a lot about you is just not having people sitting in jail doing anything. Especially, it doesn't matter, a drug addict, a gang member, car thief, robber. You have a program which really amazed me the most about you when I heard about this a while ago, as to how you're trying to change the culture of being in prison in a county jail, to actually educate, to get them out there to become members of the community by getting them involved into education, into trade schools, to be able to prepare them to go out in society when they get out and actually get away from the life of crime. You're actually providing a second chance to these people instead of just being released with no hope in the future, because they're going to go back to doing what they're doing. And I heard it's very, very extremely successful. You also have inside of there if I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong, but you also have a program where you can remove tattoos from gang members.
We do.
And somebody did tell me that you have a relocation program for them.
We do.
Yeah. I mean, this is amazing stuff, because not only are you good at working the books, which our next governor is going to have to work on in the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
You're also out there of reform, education, giving second chances. And to me, that's great leadership, in my opinion. You're doing an amazing job. You actually have a lot of other counties looking at your program, trying to duplicate it.
So we do, and it's funny you use that word second chance because in Cook County, there is a program, they call it Second Chance. So, obviously there's a lot of votes in Chicago, a lot of votes in Cook County. So we have to come out perpetually into this area. Right. So when we do, they talk about, and that's what I get asked by a lot of the population. What are you doing for, we have second chance. And I'm like, first time I heard it, I'm like, okay, I haven't heard that term before. But when I looked it up, it is a rehabilitative measure, but it is such a fraction of what we do in DuPage County. So 80% of the people who come into my correctional, and mind you, I have the second biggest correctional facility in this state. 80% of our people come in high on substance, heroin, fentanyl, alcohol, a mixture of. They have things called Tucci, which is like six drugs together, as elephant tranquilizer in it, which resists Narcan. That's a bad one. But we deal with that. So we do full drug detox, drug recovery, medicated assisted treatment, Suboxone, methadone. I got one-on-one psych care, which even with good insurance, you can't get everyday one-on-one psych care anywhere that I know of other than a correctional facility. Go figure. But when they closed down all the mental health facilities, we became the recipient of these people. Everyone says divert people from the jail. Well, where are you going to divert them to? They got bond court. Yeah. Where are they going to go?
Right.
So, no, they have to come to a correctional facility. So we need to evolve our game and meet that challenge. So after we do the drug recovery and the detoxification, because half the people, 80% coming on substance, but half of them are self-medicating for mental health issues.
Right.
So I have to peel off an addiction. And that takes about a good 30 days. And it's a real challenge. Drug addictions is hard. These people who come in and say that I'd rather be kicked to death than have to go through withdrawal because it feels like you're dying over and over and over again. That's how they describe it. So we have learned to be empathetic to this. They're a correctional facility. The punitive part is that you can't leave.
Right.
So we're going to correct your behavior. That's our goal. So what we do is we do the drug recovery, peel that off. Now I can properly diagnose you. Until I take care of that 30-day detox, it masks your mental health issues. They exacerbate each other. So then we have the psych services. Then we have 200 counselors that educate, treat, and teach 80 courses per week. Then we do the gang tattoo removal. We offer that, which is also morphed into taking off human trafficking, branding, cut marks, injection ports, bullet holes, all that kind of stuff. Then we go into vocational job training. And in the interim, half our people come in with no GEDs. We do GED training too, make sure you have the GED, because then we're slapping college on you. Then we're slapping trades on you. Then you got, we have a virtual reality welding, 3 types. We have outdoor horticulture, indoor hydroponics, small engine repair, tiling, drywalling, sanitation. And you know what? We didn't get COVID for 2 years because of our sanitation program. Kept our place so clean.
There you go.
Also, we jacked up our HVAC system, externally vented our air, had 19 negative pressure cells, externally venting that air, and we had an incubation floor that anybody new to the environment would do 15 days before going into population, and that's how you control virus. The masks were fake. Their solutions to fighting virus were not real. We used real science, and we're the only jail that got through COVID, and it was because of the jail training program. So by doing that whole continuum of care, we've brought our recidivism rates down from 75 to 15%, and those opioid numbers down from 90 to 20%.
Wow.
So we teach this now nationally in Washington, D.C. every year. And IDOC and some of the collar counties are starting to come in for tours, and they're starting to imitate our programs because what we're doing really works.
Yeah, and you're getting great results. And the whole thing about it is right now, our people down in Springfield, it's like they did a safety act, and that was for no cash bond. It was like, okay, you get arrested, you get walk right back out the door and commit the crimes again.
So yeah,
and that doesn't help. To reform, somebody, to give them hope to get out of that life, and that's what they didn't care about.
Let me tell you how right you are there. So, with the Safety Act, they bring that in, and all that stuff I just talked about: rehabilitation, jobs, training. We bring you back to your family. We have Suits for Success, where we give you suits so you're doing your job. So think about that. I come in, I'm illiterate. In a 2-year period of time, I get a GED, college training, credits, an education, a trade, and I'm orating written reports about small engine repair, 2-year period of time. What are they doing with our kids for 12 years in school? If I can teach high school, college, and vocations in 2 years, and they come in, they can't read. I mean, it's ridiculous where our society is and why, it's interesting that a correctional system ends up filling the gaps for mental health and education.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? But they're dealing with not developed minds as they start out in school. But I get what you're saying. So with your success story here, or what you're doing at DuPage County Jail, when you become governor, are you going, because they're not doing it in prisons, the big prisons, the big stuff. Do you plan on taking that platform that you worked on and are very passionate about and try to expand it into the state prisons? Because we're talking about, if they say that it's supposed to be a rehabilitation center, a correctional facility. You're supposed to correct the bad guys, but if they get released and they have no correction.
Man, you hit the nail on the head. Okay, so yes, that is the entire goal. That's why we teach it nationally. That's why working with IDOC, for every $1 that I spend on rehabilitation, I save about $19 in incarceration costs. I'm probably estimating saving about $10 million a year in DuPage County just in incarceration costs. It's very expensive to house somebody, pay for their medical. Medical is huge.
Yeah.
By doing this, we're saving a huge cost. I could replicate this. There's 92 jails, correctional facilities in this state. I could replicate this across, and we could reform the entirety of criminal justice in Illinois. That is my pie in the sky.
And what would that bring to the state of Illinois? Lower crime.
Lower crime, probably about $200 million in taxpayer revenue being saved for incarceration costs, transforming your criminal population into vocational workers. 'Cause I'm telling you, love my son to death. He's 26. He just got his degree in master's in economics and all that kind of stuff and financial. No job path.
Right.
There's no definitive job path. He's applying to hundreds of places to work. He's a really smart kid, really good grades, but it's going to take him God knows how long to get a job. What we do is we go ahead and we talk to the unions. What jobs are you deficient in? We find out, okay, it's welding, it's tiling, it's drywalling, it's sanitation. That's what we train. We're about to open a barber shop.
Right.
I mean, we're filling gaps that exist. So when our people get out, and by the way, I got to say, I got to brag a little bit. We just got a $650,000 grant from College of DuPage last week to perpetuate these programs for another 3 years.
Wow,
that's
good.
Everyone's
Amazing.
realized what we're doing works, and we're filling the job market, and we're taking our walking crime waves and turning them into vocational workers.
Right.
I mean, I don't even know how to quantify that cost savings, where you're taking what used to be a criminality factor, and now they're working every day for 8-10 hours and making money and paying taxes, get their homes back. They're back with their families.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, what people have to realize, having the second biggest correctional facility in the state has taught me that 20% of the people in there are rapists and murderers, and they're antisocial. They will never be able to conform, most likely, to society. There's just too much to unpack for a facility like ours to actually change that. But 80% are good people who made a mistake.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, if you kill the substance, you kill the criminal. People are doing things. We have people all the time that in the morning, they're like, I didn't beat my wife. You're lying. Prove it. We have to show them pictures and reports that, you had a blackout.
Yeah.
You may not remember what you did, but you did some stuff that landed you in jail. And we've realized that those people, if you fix their substance problem, it totally eliminates any criminality.
Right. And, one of the things about it is your leadership doing all what you're doing right now and trying to, when you become the governor, you incorporate it into prisons. Okay, so this is what you're doing. You're reducing crime because now you're making people out there working and not making them, but getting out there to work and have jobs, become a member of society and getting away from crime. Now you don't have them coming back. So you're saving money for the taxpayers because now we're getting less and less. You're also creating a great revenue base because you're making them taxpayers. They're going to have a job in Texas. They're going to come out of their paycheck. They're going to end up buying a house one day. And
I get videos. That's one of my favorites. Look, the first house I bought, they're taking a video of their house. It's like, you know what? It's God's work.
Right.
It's God's work.
But it also has a lot to with them participating and wanting that chance to get out of there. And you
It
give
has to
them
be
the
voluntary. I can't make them.
Right. And you give them the encouragement, and people find out in the prison that, hey, this is working for me. My brother was just in here, did the program, and he got out. Well, why are you in here? Because I'm dumb. Maybe, well, they said, like you said, it was a mistake. But other than that, think about it. You're giving people the second chance, but you're also putting money back into the economy when they get jobs. And
Without a doubt.
we need less criminals and more taxpayers. And with the borders being closed, we're going to start seeing sharp reductions of heroin and fentanyl. And they're going to try sneaking in, but we're going to start seeing more lives saved. We're going to see less drug addictions, and we're going to see more people feeling good about themselves when they come out of your jail, and then hopefully they come out of prison like that. And it's a win-win situation to me.
Absolutely, it is.
And your leadership is beyond belief of what you're doing right now, and that's what we're looking for in the state of Illinois. Because we're going to have a couple of questions when we come back from the second half of this show. And I know time is flying, but you're an amazing guy, and you're spot on with a lot of stuff right now. And if anybody, really quickly before we go to break, can you give me your website so they can look you up on their computer or their smart device really quickly? You have your website for your campaign?
So it's Mendrick, 4 Governor 2026.com.
Yeah. So during this commercial break coming up here in a few seconds here, what I would do, folks, I would actually, and I always tell everybody, know about your candidates, know about them, make sure they're the right candidate for you. Obviously, this guy has a resume about what he's doing for society and what he's doing for the people of Illinois, just in the county of DuPage. Can you imagine if he spreads it out through the state of Illinois? I think we would be very happy with the results coming on up here. So go on your computer, go on your iPad, look up the website one more time.
Mendrick, 4 Governor 2026.com.
Okay, so that is our music. Going to go to commercial here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break. And what you guys can do is get up, grab that laptop, go on your computer, look him up, know everything about this guy. And then we'll get you some more contacts, how to become a part of his team, how to donate to his campaign. And we're going to ask him some questions that you're asking about. Go on YouTube, ask the questions, call in 847-931-1410. Ask this man a question. And I know you're there, and I know you're ready to ask him. So we'll be back after this break. It's David Tees, WRMN Radio, 1410 downtown Elgin.
With your news flash, I'm Ryan Gatenby. Brought to you by Progressive. A new Illinois Department of Public Health report finds carbon monoxide exposure caused an average of about 940 emergency room visits and nearly 57 deaths each year. The report examined unintentional carbon monoxide exposures in Illinois from 2019 through 2023. New labor data shows Illinois lost at least 100,000 jobs over the past 6 months. By the end of 2025, more than 300,000 residents were still looking for work, leaving about 1.4 workers competing for each available job in the state. The Illinois EPA is offering up to $1.5 million in grants for energy efficiency upgrades at publicly owned drinking water treatment plants. Individual awards will range from $50,000 to $500,000. I'm Ryan Gatenby with your news flash.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Paid for by Michael Pierce for Congress.
I am an Illinois conservative candidate for U.S. Congress running to represent the 11th District, and it was called Illinois home for my entire life. I'm a college graduate and earned both my master's and doctorate degrees while serving my country in the armed forces. I retired from the Army with the rank of Lieutenant Colonel and afterwards continued working for the Department of Defense for both the European and Africa commands. As a service-disabled veteran, I remain active in veterans organizations. I continue to work diligently for the benefit of veterans in need to help them and their families transition from military back to civilian life. I need your vote to go to Washington to represent Illinois, to fight for a brighter future for its residents, and help eliminate Washington's inefficient, bloated bureaucracy that had plagued our previous administration. My name is Mike Pierce, Republican candidate for U.S. Congress, 11th District. I want to work for you and bring real change to Illinois and to Washington. I am asking for your vote. And I approve this message.
This is Will Walker with your Fox Valley forecast. Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Tonight, a chance of rain showers and patchy fog before 9. Then areas of fog and scattered rain showers. Cloudy, with a low around 40. On Thursday, look for areas of fog and scattered rain showers. Cloudy with a high near 50. Currently, it's 38 and overcast. With your Fox Valley forecast, I'm Will Walker on WRMN, the talk of the town.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Yep.
Hey, everybody. Sorry about that. We are back. I didn't know the commercial was over with. I was too busy talking to this great man here that I have sitting in the studios with me. We actually have Sheriff James Mendrick in here. We got him on the camera now. He is running for governor. And if you listen to the first half, we got some callers. So if you listen to the first half, we're going to take some callers right now. So we're going to take the first one that showed up here. Hello, caller. Who are we talking to? Hello, caller.
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, it's me. Okay. Hi. I have a question for the.
Oh, you got to put your, hold on a second. You got to put your headsets on, sir. That way I'm teaching them the ropes around here. And then we'll get to the next caller. So hang in there. Okay, go ahead and ask him your question.
Okay. I know that you're doing that wonderful program that allows inmates to be able to get their college education while they're in prison. And was he able to hear that, or should
yes,
I?
No, I heard it.
Okay. Now, my question is this. It's great that the inmates get college education, but what about us who are law-abiding citizens who just don't have enough money to be able to pay for college? Do we get ourselves put in prison so we can get that free college education? Or do you have some kind of a plan to allow for free college education for regular law-abiding citizens who've never even been to jail?
So I wish I had control as sheriff to influence our educational system, but I don't. But regardless, just so you know, and everything that I described is at no cost to taxpayers. It's College DuPage that pays for it. We do a memorandum of understanding with the college, and this perfect time to ask this question. Just last week, I got $650,000 more dollars appropriated to us through the college to perpetuate these programs for 3 more years. There are federal grants, and there are monies that are being given to colleges to do with what they wish. And the college has chosen to assist in criminality because it stops recidivism, right? Instead of having these walking crime waves, you've got vocational workers. So it has a societal benefit by working with the correctional facility. But it's not coming from the sheriff's office, it's coming from the educational system. So if it wasn't being spent on us, it would be spent on some other college program, whatever they deemed it worthwhile. But they choose to work with us and assist us in our programming. So we're at the benevolence of College DuPage. We're actually a satellite of the college within my jail. We just let them build a college. They said, we want to build a college in your jail. Okay, no problem. It has nothing but benefits. It stops crime. It stops people from getting carjacked. It stops, your routine crime as a police officer for 30 years. The thing that I disliked the most was have to deal with the same person over and over and over again. So, and again, I go back to the economic benefit that for every dollar we spend on these programs, we're saving 19 in incarceration costs. So there's $10 million. You talk about taxes and money and all that. We're actually saving $10 million in money that we'd spend on housing people. See, and I equate this to 2 things. I run an $80 million budget. I have 504 static employees, 300 contractors. I supervise 800 people, and 85% of my budget is people. It's the people and benefits. So now you go to incarceration. What's the most expensive? People and benefits and medical. So what's the most expensive way to handle it? A sanctuary state, where we're doing billions of dollars to house people, educate people. You want the wrong way to spend college money? How about the $2 billion promise now that we are going to pay for college for illegal immigrants? Wouldn't it make more sense to take your previously incarcerated people who have been a burden on society and make them into graduates with jobs instead of our illegal alien population? I do not understand it.
And to his question is that money that you just said that they're going to spend on illegal immigration.
That's where it goes instead.
Well, why can't they? Why can't push that towards, like he just asked? You get a free college
previously
education
incarcerated
for people.
are still citizens of the United States that deserve benefits before people who are here illegally.
Exactly, but like the regular citizens, he's kind of like questioning, how do we get a free education? And that's one of the things. Like if you look at the fact is, sir, and there are programs in colleges like ECC and McHenry College and all of them. They have free education for people with low income. Especially in the military, we're one of the states that allow free education. All you got to do is go to ECC. You want a different job, you want a free education, and you can't afford it. Well, you go in there and you apply for their grant because they have over $2 to $4 million in grant money for that program. But it's a don't ask, don't tell policy, and this is money that comes from the state and the federal government, and they don't want you to know about it because then they don't have to spend it.
Right.
So
now the stuff that's provided currently by the state through ECC, that's done by our current governor, correct?
Well, that is actually past administrations. That's been going on for many governors besides just ours. The ECC's had this program, and so has McHenry College, and a lot of community colleges throughout the state of Illinois do this. This has been going on for a long, long time before him. It probably was Ron, or we could go back to Edgar. We could go back to previous governors. They've all been there. Okay, it's just that as the economy gets a little bit better and population grows, it's a little bit harder to get that, but they're still getting the money. It's there. You just got to ask.
Now, you mentioned population too. And if you look at our population, last census, we lost 800,000 citizens. So you want to talk a money loss about where we need to repair things and how we can recover everything. We may be able to reduce rates at colleges and schools.
Right.
How about we deal with the sanctuary city policies? I mean, what we're doing there is obscenely expensive. So take 1.6 billion on the hook for medical still for illegal aliens. Right. We have $740 million we just spent on housing and link cards. $2 billion for college education. Do you know that 80% of now ER visits are non-emergency?
Right.
And ambulance runs go from, what used to be $400 a run to about $1,400 a run. So it's straining the system. So just what I described to you. Oh, and the $2 billion that we don't get in grant money anymore because we're violating federal law. When state law and federal law conflict, the federal law prevails. What I just described to you could buy 4 Bear stadiums. Yeah. So think about that. They want $850 million. I think Indiana trumped us to, no pun intended, trumped us to $1 billion that they would buy the Bears away from us for that cost. And the $1 billion was just for the basic cost of the illegal immigrants last year in 2025. So give up 1 year of sanctuary state, and we could buy that whole stadium that would make money. That would have Super Bowls, that would have UFCs, that would have concerts, that would have
generate taxes
and jobs, all the jobs it would generate. And I could reduce your property rates by 20% with that same lump of money that we had saved just from paying another additional society. Think about this. If we lost 800,000 people in the last census and we've gained, how many illegal immigrants in that amount of time? There were about 750,000. Isn't it a coincidence that we've lost 800,000 taxpayers to almost 800,000 people who are dependent on the government for food, for medical, for education, for housing? That's a force multiplier that is draining our economy. There's no way to get around this, that if we want to recover our economy, it has to be Illinois first. Illinois says, J.B. Pritzker calls the illegal immigrants his people.
Yeah.
That's what I call the citizens of DuPage, my people.
Well, caller, that's the answer right there, because the fact is this money could be shifted into what your question was about free education, lower taxes. We're paying a lot. But we got another caller. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
And have a good day. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Hello, caller. Who are we talking to?
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, this sounds like the Dutchman.
Well, it's not the Dutchman.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Sheriff Mendrick, for all you do. Dave, thank you for having the sheriff on. I have a quick question for the sheriff.
Sure.
Sheriff, you've been in the policing world for about 30 years. Sheriff for, I don't recall how many, but
30.
I'm going to presume 30 years. I'm going to presume you know hundreds, if not thousands of people. My question to you is, how did you wind up picking Robert Renteria to be your running mate? I'm really curious to hear that. If you wouldn't mind, and I can either stay on or...
No, please stay on.
Thank you.
I'm very glad that you asked me this question. So Dr. Robert Renteria was my first and my only choice for lieutenant governor. I met him when he was a book writer, right? He ran a business. He's also a disabled veteran. He has done so much for our country, for our children. And, I met him when he showed me his book, and we were talking about bringing it into my correctional facility. Again, I have the second biggest correctional facility in the state. And I read the first 3 pages of the book, basically, just so the next time I talked to him, I could tell him I at least, read some of it and understood it. I got hooked. I read the entire thing in a day and a half. And, when you summarize what that book is about, it's work ethic. It's work harder than everybody else. Apply yourself. Be earlier than everybody. If you're not early or late, work, jobs. And it fits so much into my curriculum for my correctional facility that I started to distribute from the barrio to the boardroom, that's the book name, into our correctional facility. And then the book was so well received within my correctional facility, I'm like, I got to have this guy come talk to the inmates and do, basically like motivational speeches within our jail. And those were so popular that I just became infatuated with his whole strategy of helping kids, he works with Papa John's. They have a really nice thing where you're giving kids pizza. I spent an afternoon once with the doc about 6 months ago, and I think we handed out 200 pizzas to impoverished children. And I mean, what a good feeling that was. He's a public servant. He's not a politician. I'm not a politician. I really don't like politicians. I work for the government. I know not to trust them. But Dr. Robert Renteria is a good man. He's turned into a good friend, and I'm just glad he said yes, because I had no backup. He was the only one that I thought would complement my campaign.
Well, I thank you. I believe I've Googled him, which blew my mind. It was page after page after page of information.
Mm-hmm.
And the gentleman, he tends to not wave his own flag, which is he's humble. And I would implore anybody who's going to be voting, and please, folks, if you're out there and you can vote, you must vote. If we're going to get rid of Pritzker, you must vote. But Google Dr. Robert Renteria and tell yourself, this guy, yeah, he deserves to be there. You both are awesome individuals. I appreciate your service, your commitment to the state of Illinois and the people of the state. And hopefully you can win on March 17th. And again, folks, you must vote. Yes. Don't bitch if you're not going to vote. Excuse my language. Thank you. Both of you, David and Jim, have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you for your call.
You're welcome.
And you know what I consider that? You know what I always tell people about a Pritzker third term? I always ask the question, how do you feel we'd be doing right now if Kamala Harris won the election?
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. I mean, I've asked that question, too. Oh,
but in Illinois, that's a third term of J.B. Pritzker for us. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
But, okay, so one of the questions I have for you, because I know we're going to be running out of time, I want to get you your platform here, but I'm going to touch on, we already talked about how you're reforming crime, okay? So trying to make the streets safer by getting rid of, get people to be reformed. And hopefully you take that into the prisons when you're governor. The other one, taxes. People are really, really frustrated. Every day, it's just like there's a new tax. We're going to be taxed for breathing air.
I know.
And what are your plans when you get into maybe try curving that down?
Oh, yeah.
But definitely putting a stop to it.
So here we go. I'm going to rip through a whole bunch of stuff.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to start, again, the sanctuary state. I already went through all that. That's billions. Oh, so we got that. So your next thing, non-governmental organizations, NGOs, right? So that's another way we're funneling billions of dollars out of taxpayer control into special interest groups. I mean, Guitars Over Guns, $2 million. I mean, really, a highway commissioner's Little League team gets $600,000 in NGOs. Lincoln College got $500,000 in NGO. That's where I got my 2-year degree. They've been closed since 2023.
Yeah.
So we're watching all this, and I love watching the Republicans complain, they can't be FOIA'd or audited because they're NGO. I write contracts for a living.
Yeah, right.
One sentence: must accept audit if you get the money, must give performance metrics. So if I give you $100,000 in NGO, I give you 25, and then in 3 months we have a conversation. Performance metrics. Did you do what you were supposed to with the money? If not, you're done. If you did, there's another 25. We're going to talk in 6 months. Performance metrics. That could be written in any contract. The fact that they don't write performance metrics and auditability into NGOs means they don't want them there so they can cheat, just like the voting. I'm telling you, they terrified me with that too. They don't ask for IDs because they don't want to ask for IDs. They want it to be open. But back to money. You have the local government distributive fund, right? That's your income tax portion for every mayor and village manager across the state. That's how you do your road repair, all your infrastructure fixes, all that kind of stuff. So J.B. Pritzker has knocked it all the way down to 6%, and then he wants to freeze it and then make that permanent. So now locally, and I'll tell you, your roads out here suck.
Yeah, thank you. I noticed that too.
I'm just saying.
I know.
But don't feel bad. It's everywhere.
Yeah,
and it's a statewide problem. Bridges, infrastructure, roads, potholes, all that stuff. But when you don't have your local government distributive fund, your income tax share is knocked down 40%, then they can't fix that stuff. Right. So now I'm going to ask the state, hey, I need my roads repaired. State, you handle it. Well, now you're in the motor vehicle fuel tax where J.B. Pritzker, and let's precursor that. In 2016, there was an amendment saying you can't take money out of that. It's solely for road repair. That's your state methodology. Same with the local government distributed fund, but the state level, and you can't use that money for that. Well, 6 months ago, he swept $308 million out of that fund. And when I questioned it, I'm told, oh, no, you can sweep it because it's interest. Well, okay, I'm a budget guy. If you sweep $308 million in interest, that means you're not spending the capital.
Right.
Which means I'm not fixing your roads statewide. There's no cranes in Chicago anymore.
No.
They're all gone because they're not doing any work. They're freezing labor. And you know what? You know why? Guess who's getting that? The illegal aliens.
Exactly.
There you go. They got to pay for this big problem that they have.
Right.
Just like you have this Pritzker thing, the Build Act that he's talking about, where I can, it restricts local government from taking any authoritative position on zoning issues with property, and it gives it to the state. And if you have an inspection and you don't do it fast enough, they can send a third-party state inspector in to expedite the inspection so they can build. Now I'm going to translate that, right?
Yeah.
Your next door neighbor sells their house. Somebody buys it. They don't need your local approval. It's only state approval to build an apartment complex next door to your house.
Really? Wow.
Without any authority from your local government, and the state inspections will take care of everything. Guess what that's for?
Section 8.
How do you distribute 750,000 people throughout a state?
Apartments.
There you go.
Yep.
That's how they're going to solve their problem of housing for the illegal immigrants. Our whole economy is going for foreign populations.
Right.
I'm watching all of this get trashed, and let's go Medicaid. The Department of Family Services was just delivered a FOIA that said, how many of your people are you giving Medicaid benefits to that don't furnish Social Security numbers? If you don't furnish a Social Security number, guess who you are?
And illegal citizen. Okay.
There you go. 22,000 people at 11,000 a year, $242 million.
Okay. Well, this is what we're going to do. I said I'm going to turn the time over to you, and I'm going to put your website back up here so people can watch you. Would you please do what you do when you go and speak to people as to why they should vote for Sheriff James Mendrick for governor of Illinois? And I'll get that up and going. You have the floor.
Thank you, David. Thanks again for being on the show. My name is James Mendrick, DuPage County Sheriff, running for Illinois governor. I'm the one who is not going to be political. I will rule public safety. Safety is supreme for us, and we need an emergency manager right now in Chicago, in Illinois, in our small towns, our big towns. I have built agricultural panels, voter integrity panels already, 2A panels. I am a mouthpiece of the citizens. I have 30 years of police experience, budget experience, investigative experience. I have learned how to dissect a budget and find out where the money was spent. That is my strength. I will definitely make this a safer state, and I will keep, I hate to say it, I will make crime illegal again. I will, and then if you want me to run through the things, I don't mind telling people I believe in God. I'm pro 2A. I don't believe that a FOID card gives you your constitutional rights to carry a gun. I believe your Constitution does. I believe in school choice. I believe in homeschooling. I believe that the sanctuary state is one of our biggest problems that we have and costing us more money than any other initiative we've ever seen in the state of Illinois. The Safety Act exacerbates it. I talk about all that rehabilitation, and guess what? Instead, they propose that I let people go while they're detoxing, while they're jonesing and tweaking, and they're only going to make worse decisions. The Safety Act promulgates long-term incarceration. We can fix all of this. I guess to sum it up, I will make crime illegal again, and I will be the first governor to come out of a jail instead of going into one.
Wow. That's, yeah. And you won't have to worry about getting pardoned, in the future. I mean, yeah, it happened to another governor, but yeah. And your website, if people want to, now listen, I keep saying this, know about your candidate. So I suggest you go to his website, which is
Mendrick, the number 4 governor 2026.com.
Yes. And, you can get involved with his campaign, be a volunteer, put out signs, pass out literature, stand at polling places 100 feet away from the door, Give the fish the worm. That's the best thing I always say when I ran, because those people are coming to the polling places. That's where you should have people standing out in front of the polling places, 100 feet away from the door. Get to know your candidates, because the polls are open. Early voting has started so you can look it up at the clerk's line, county clerk's website. You can get all of your polling areas that are open right now until the day of the election. Mail-in ballots, you could do that. If you need assistance, feel free to reach out to your local township, Republican or Democrat party. Sorry, I have to favor both sides to do all that stuff, but they can help you assist.
And Dave, one thing I want to throw in really quick,
Sure, go ahead,
is that I have been endorsed by the Illinois Sheriff's PAC. So I have the backing and endorsement of all the sheriffs in this entire county. That is who trusts me, is law enforcement trusts me to keep you safe.
Yes, and I have a Back the Blue flag underneath my American flag. It's an American Back the Blue flag. Every day that sits out front because I back my blue, because without them, this place would be Gotham City, I'll tell you. The state would be Gotham. That being said, but yeah, know about your candidates. Donate, help them out. If you want to join on, go to his website at Mendrick, the number 4 governor
2026.com.
And I'll tell you what, or reach out to him. And Brendan, I know you're listening. I say hi. We'll just see you in the morning. And don't forget, in the morning, you got me and Susie C. It's 6:08 in the morning for the morning show. It's going to be fun. You know how we are in the morning. We're crazy. We have fun, and we want you to call in. But that being said, Brendan, if this guy when he does become governor, I'll make sure he comes onto the air, and maybe we'll bring you down here to meet this guy. He is a sheriff. He's like Chief Lowry. He cares about his county. He cares about the state of Illinois. And good luck to you, James.
Thank you, David.
I wish the best for you. I'm looking forward to watching this. And let's hope when you do become governor, let's hope you could save the Chicago Bears.
I know I could.
Yes, I know. You got plans.
One law change, one executive order, no more sanctuary state.
Yeah, there you go. And the money come rolling on in. So, and thanks for the callers that called in. They asked some really good questions. It was really great. We got the website up and running. I'm going to go back to you before we go here, and you get to see us.
Thank you,
As
David.
a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she